Greetings, one and all. With it being Christmas time, everybody's opening up boxes and tearing paper off to get to the box to see what's inside. And these are not Christmas gifts. These, however, this is my big box of show rods. This is one piece of what came with that. And this is another box of show rod parts cars. So let's take a look at what's all up in here. As you can see, it's pretty full. There's a couple of boxes with some parts in them. Kits as well. Right off the bat here, we got a Rommel's rod. Some parts are on the tree. I believe the skeletons are... I think I took them out so they didn't get broke in here. But it is a rebuilder. And I bought a set of tracks specifically to get rid of the plastic on the back at some point. So these ain't show rod parts, but if they end up on a Rommel's rod, they become a show rod part. Without a doubt. This one here, I believe this is leftovers from the Beverly Hillbillies, which at some point I may have a use for if I ever happen to get a Jolly Roger version, or just need some parts. Ah, yes. Now here we go with the Tiger Shark, the Dream Rod, and I believe there was another name for it at one point, but they're not all the same. The original Dream Rod kit that was on my channel at one point here, this back corner had a recessed area for a tail light, and as you can see, this one does not. Along with this groove here being slightly different. As you can see, one is parts more than an actual car, whereas the other, it's rebuildable, dirty glue bomb stuff thereof, but you know, parts cars got to come from somewhere. Here we have a couple of garbage trucks. Not in that great a condition. Some of the parts are bent and warped and missing thereof, etc. But, you know, they are garbage trucks. This one here is a Chaparral that I bought from Beverly Hegwood. It's not a show rod, but I have a custom concept for it that fits the show rod theme. And it seems it's just a body with some glass. That's all I needed. And the chassis kind of helped too. Pie Wagon. I'm pretty sure you're somewhat familiar with these. Tom Daniels Pie Wagon. I have a few of them. There's an extra one in here. And then we all got the old, I think it's 27T stake type, carrier type truck. Not a Pie Wagon, it's just in there because of space. And then here we have 1, 2, 3 more Pie Wagon. 1, 2, and 3 more Pie Wagon. Here we have a Iced Tea. Pretty nice kit. not too bad a condition. Definitely has some broken bits. Needs some work, but I have 2 of them built already, so this one's probably not going to stay stock at all. And then here is my Goodfellas car. The old taxi cab kind of thing. It's kind of hard to get a decent look at how bad it is or how good it is with the plastic bag around it, but it's here. I might be able to somewhat clean it up. The plan is to actually restore this one to displayable condition as it is. Not necessarily leaving everything as is, but if I repaint it all, finding new decals is probably going to be a problem. So it's kind of a balancing act on that one. Here we have a 30s Ford front end with a a la carte rear box and some 50s Ford fenders on it. Yeah, this one was a custom. It's also got a circus wagon rear chassis piece on it, and I'm guessing, yeah, this would also be circus wagon front on there, I believe. And then down in here, yes, we have one of the cash box. It's very hard to actually see it. And these are the cash box parts to make another body. So technically there's 2 bodies in here for making the cash box. We have 2 of the Tijuana taxis that are, let's say, pretty rough. They're not in the greatest of condition. They're definitely got some broken pieces. But I have a starting point. And I believe I also have a 3rd one of these elsewhere. Yeah, that's built in my collection. It was also a rebuilder, but at this point it's better than those. And here we have a bathtub buggy. I have a modern reissue that I built up box stock that's beautiful. And I have a blue custom version. So this one, odds are it's not going to stay stock. It's not high on my to build list because I have those other older versions or built versions. Alright. So over here in the bad medicine box, that is what is in here, along with a, I believe it's a 27, the black and gold with trailer street rod version type of Model T. I had one of these kits when I was younger, and I happened to have it sitting on a little shelf above a dartboard, and a friend hit dead center of the front axle with the dart, and the whole thing just shattered. So this one's kind of a replacement for that. I don't technically consider it a show rod because it's basically just a T-bucket, but it can be turned into one, so that one still has potential. And as you can see in here, we have a fairly reasonable rebuildable bad medicine. Clearly there's 2 sets of seats, 2 roofs down here, extra axles and some other goodies, and I believe these are all actual parts from the kit. Now you can tell the black is actually from the monogram reissue, whereas the purple trees are actually from the older style. So this is a nice little piece to have, personally. And I believe the Bad Medicine was one of my first Tom Daniels kits I ever built. So this has some meaning to me, personally. And let's go down here in the depth charger box. Now this is actually an older original style box. Doesn't technically have the date down on there. Nor does it have it on this side either. It does have the kit number, which I believe, I don't know if that's the same as the newest version or not, but in here we have all kinds of fun. We have obviously our scuba helmet gear body with a tire inside. It's very rough, but they all need cleanup and etc. Anyway, here we have an Eldon, I don't know if you can see that, milk truck. This is not the three-wheeler version that just came out. No, this is one of the older original Eldon kits. In here we have Tarantula, which I believe got customized somewhat, because I was pretty sure the nose was part of the rear body as well, and it's been cut off at the firewall. And we also have an original Groovy Grader as well. Along with some of the parts, some of the rims, suspension goodies, etc. A motor. Another nice bag for sure. We have the original Scuba Dudes that came with the aqua rod and the motor. The chassis for the aqua rod. This one I believe is Son of Ford, and they modified and customized a bunch of stuff on it. It could also be Boss a Bone, or it's basically your 30s Ford pickup, but it is a Tom Daniels custom, although it has been previous owner customized as well. I do believe it's either Boss a Bone. It's kind of hard to tell. It is orange. But this is yet another one of those nice kits to have. Alright, seems I need both hands for a minute to put this stuff back. I'll be right back. Alright, that stuff is put away. All nicely tucked back in its little box for now. I will get to this one last because I have extra pictures of this from when I sorted it out from here, put into there. And in this little here hot dogger box, what do we have, shall we? This, I believe, is Boot Hill Express parts, chrome trees and other panels, which I do have the body. I've seen a lot of customs using this part, so I have an original one I built back in late 80s, so I don't see a point in building another stock version. And therefore, it's very likely that one will be customized. And then this guy here, the old Chuck Wagon. white background maybe. Basically your old Ford. Nothing too special, just got a big building on the back. Box truck kind of thing. I do have more parts for this, but not a whole lot. This one was a parts kit car. But at this point, a rear suspension, front suspension, motor trans exhaust, simple seat, steering wheel. She's ready to roll down the road. Not too far off from being done. I do have a nice version of that one already built, so I'm not too pressed to have to build it. And then here, I believe these were from the Aqua Rod, the more modern version, not the older one. In here we have a few parts of the chuck wagon, along with some beer wagon parts and some other goodies in there. Clearly the yellow is beer wagon. And also the rear fenders for the chuck wagon. Yes, the 4x4 Mountain Goat, the Jeep. These are all extra parts off of that. Looks like some more glass and some other bits and pieces underneath maybe. Decals. Yeah, little hot dogger. Yep. Basically just a parts box with a few good bits in there. Mainly them two. So now, let me take a second to put these back here real quick. Yeah, we're gonna need both hands to do all that to get it nice and snugly fit back up in there, but okay. So now for this little box. It's not much bigger than a model box. These kits were actually in that box when I got it. And there is 5 of these. And I believe these are all fire iron. There's only one that is missing front wheels that I can't verify. That may actually only be a firecracker. But I believe most of these are missing parts, and as I went through them, I had another stack of brass parts that I was able to make sure each one of these had the best of all the parts they had. Any other duplicates outside of these 5 I have still in a drawer. This one might not look complete, but it is actually a lot more complete than it looks. There are more body panels and things in the small bits down there. And again, with this one as well, there's small bits in there. The front and rear axles. All the brass parts and body parts and little bits. And same with that one. It's pretty much all there. They're not 100% complete, and not all parts are in perfect condition. But since I already have one that is built pretty much stock, other than I did have to swap a motor, I have the privilege, if I want to swap the motor out of one of these into it, if I so choose, which I don't. Honestly, this has been one of my favorite show rods. I don't know that it's my all-time favorite of show rods, but with Tom Daniels kits, this is number 2. Number 1 is the Honest engine. This is number 2. And I think some of that goes back to the Hot Wheels fire engine, the old number 3. So anyway, I know I do have more show rod, body parts, panels, pieces. Somewhere I have a gridiron grabber parts kit, along with some circus wagon parts and some dragons and some other goodies. I also have a Jinx Express, which I think there's a few extra parts from a second one of them in there. So anyway, thanks for joining along on this What's in the Box. As you can see, show rod stuff. And yeah, I have an awful lot more somewhere else too. So stick around, maybe I'll bring them out and do a video on them. So till next time, happy holidays. Bye.